It don't matter the color of the skin, either woman or man, just let the case land. It's here, it's in safe hands. This is God work, not a fake plan. Too many kids being found in these lakes, man. This is MTGV, and you with Miss V. She keep her ear to the street.
Welcome in, everybody.
This is the place that you wanna be, but all trolls we delete, you better believe. Just so you know we don't go for those.
Shout out to everybody in the building. And shout out to everybody on the replay.
But it's getting so
Shout out to my
replay. Just so you know we don't.
If you're in the building right now, please drop down in the chat and let us know who's here.
We know, but it's getting
However, shout out to everybody in the building. Please smack that thumbs up as you come in.
MTGV, True Crime TV.
So today we're going to be talking about Ryan and Rodney Hinton. So he was the father had a bond hearing earlier, and his family also have spoke out. So I want to get into those videos. Thank you to everybody here. Shout out to everybody that's hitting the thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. And we're going to get right into it. I'm going to chop it up with y'all as y'all drop down. But what you're looking at right now is some clearly edited footage that we were shown yesterday was that yesterday? The other day when I went live, I said that I was going to come back. I was going to look at some of the information, magnify it a little bit, make it a little bit closer. And so that's what I did. And so I noticed that the footage is edited. You can see mad filters in the bottom pictures. Let me move this banner right quick. So you can see that this is really high resolution, high filters, really edited. And I don't really see a reason why they would have needed to change the colors of things. But we noticed some things when we was looking at the body cam footage. One of them was that he was way at a distance from where he's at now. So I don't know how he ended up that way. He was running. He was trying to run. It looked like he had fell. It looked like it was something in his hand. And I mean, they showed us him in a seated position, kind of like not really in a seated, but on his knees. It looked like he had fell and he had got back up. But they were saying that he had a weapon in his hand that we couldn't see. And they didn't even show us that when we watched the footage that they presented to us. But I just wanted to point out that it is clearly edited for whatever reason. And let me show this, the picture of the weapon. This is a picture that I brought him a little bit closer, but I still couldn't see. I gotta move the video. But I still couldn't see what was in his hand, if anything was in his hand. It didn't look like anything was in his hand. It did look to me like something was in his pocket. So I could tell that his pocket looked like it was weighed down, but I didn't see nothing in his hand. They said he was pointing a weapon. And then this is the picture of the weapons. Did I not put it in here? If I didn't, I'll have to. Yeah, it must have didn't fit. Shout out to Amma in the building. She said it seems like a police cover-up after. Yeah, it does. I mean, it seems like they are not being forthcoming with all the information, okay? Because I wish I had that picture of the guns because they look totally different. The colors are totally different. And I don't know if that's because they edited the footage or not. Hey, shout out to AP. Welcome in. Hello, Miss V. 6 seconds to pew pew craziness. Yeah, I mean, it don't sound like the attorneys, the family attorney, is disputing that he had a weapon. I'm not sure though. I mean, I'm not sure really what they think, if they seen the weapon or not. Maybe we'll get to that. But the picture that they showed of a weapon looks totally different than the one that they showed on a TV screen. Is all I'm pointing out. It's one thing to have a weapon, it's another to be pointing a weapon. But either way, man, it's really sad. I didn't get a chance to watch the family footage, so we gonna watch that. And I'm sure I'm gonna probably drop some tears because I heard the uncle was having a real hard time. And shout out to T Beezy. She mentioned it to me that the uncle was really devastated about this because apparently his nephew called 6 to 9 times or something trying to get home, trying to get into the house. And another thing, I ran across a video because I was trying to figure out what happened, what made the police come up on them, what were they doing when it happened. And I noticed it was 9 o'clock in the morning. So it sounded like they might have been sleeping in this vehicle at the time that the police pulled up on them. So let me get to this video. But welcome in, y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here and dropping down in the chat.
In the last several hours, we are following several shootings, including one in Cincinnati where police shot and killed an armed 18-year-old. And then not even 24 hours later, get this, police say the victim's father intentionally drove into the deputy involved in his son's shooting. The deputy is dead. CBS News correspondent Chanel Call is following this story and more from the newsroom. Chanel,
did he say the deputy involved in the, did he just say all that? Or did he say deputy involved? It couldn't have, I don't believe it was the same deputy, but I'm just trying to see.
Drove into the deputy involved in his son's shooting.
He did. The deputy involved in his son's shooting. Was it the same deputy or not? This was my question the first day. I didn't think it was because he's directing traffic, newly retired. I don't think it is.
18-year-old, and then not even 24 hours later, get this, police say the victim's father intentionally drove into the deputy involved in his son's shooting. The deputy is dead. CBS News correspondent Chanel Call is following this story and more from the newsroom. Chanel, what's the latest in that case in Ohio? This is not only one issue of violence, but then a second follow-up issue.
Can we get 10?
Yeah, Reed, just a tragic story out of Ohio this hour. A man whose teenage son was killed by police in Cincinnati, now accused of killing a sheriff's deputy. Rodney Hinton allegedly rammed his car into that officer. We now know that officer has been identified as Deputy Leary Henderson, a 33-year veteran. Henderson was notably not involved in Hinton's son's death, but want to show you.
Thank you for clearly saying that. I just wanted somebody to just clearly say that. But her coworker just he just said what he said.
Police body camera video of the terrifying moments before officers shot and killed Hinton's 18-year-old son, Ryan Hinton, and want to warn you, it can be a bit tough to watch.
Look how the footage is edited. There ain't no grass, nothing, no green. It's edited. So we see the cop over there. Okay, they stopped it right there. Now, when we played this footage before, if you watch the old video, you'll see that he was at a distance from that dumpster that he was just standing by.
So, Reed, police say Ryan Hinton was shot twice and killed by police. This happened on Thursday.
It's like the weapon was, I don't know how far it was, but it was a good distance from where he was laying. So he wasn't pointing it. For sure.
A chase after officers had responded to a call about a stolen car. His father Rodney Hinton now being held without bond, and police say, as well as his public defender, is saying that he had no felonies on his record. And his public defender also said this was an emotionally charged situation.
Well, and it was a violent weekend. So let's talk about each case one by one, starting with bullets flying in the state of Arizona. What do you know about that, Chanel?
Yeah, Reed, so we know that this happened in Glendale, Arizona, just before 8 o'clock last night. So, around dinner time inside a steakhouse. That steakhouse, I should mention, happened to be right beside police headquarters. Details at this point a bit limited, but local police do say 3.
That breaking news, the man charged with murdering Hamilton County Sheriff's Deputy Larry Henderson has been denied bail. Thank you for joining us at noon. I'm Megan Mitchell.
And I'm Stephen Albritton. This morning's bond hearing for Rodney Hinton Jr. showed a lot of emotion during and after the court proceedings. We're leading the way with live team coverage. Brian Hamrick breaks down.
Was it 8? I almost said 8. They fired 8 times. And I think I heard them say 2 hit him, allegedly. I'm not sure. How they know that already?
On what happened in court, our Jock Maluka joins us with how emotions ran high during that hearing, and our Todd Dykes has reaction from the sheriff after the hearing. Let's start with Brian Hamrick with that judge's decision. Brian.
Yeah, Stephen, what was an emotional tornado inside the Justice Center here. You have deputies who just lost a friend, a co-worker in the same room with the family.
That's what I said yesterday. I'm like, he would have been on administrative leave. But that news guy literally said that. I had to take it back. Did I hear him right? But yeah, they are usually on administrative leave. He wouldn't duty. What do I call duty cops or patrol cops don't usually direct traffic, right? That's like light duty.
Family of the man who is accused of killing him. Now, just a matter of seconds after Rodney Hinton Jr. entered the courtroom, an outburst. A man came to the front claiming he was Hinton's brother, trying to get his attention. This is what happened.
Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat, sir. Sit down. That's my brother.
What did he do? What the hell happened?
Yeah, now the outburst goes on. Hinton is escorted out of the courtroom. They finally get things under control, and Hinton returns to the court for the...
Very interesting. The courtroom itself, I've never seen a courtroom like this. All the news, all the courtrooms I've seen, I haven't seen the whole courtroom behind glass.
This hearing to hold him on no bond. It's a special hearing. It requires evidence to be presented. A prosecution called us.
Usually it's the other way around. The prisoner is behind glass and everybody else is in the courtroom. So it's a little different.
Cincinnati police detective who said Hinton had been at the police station to meet with the chief and to see body cam of police from the day before. That body cam showed officers shooting Hinton's son, Ryan Hinton, to death. And it came as they stopped the stolen car. After leaving that scene and seeing this video, the detective said,
that dude kind of remind me of Samuel L. Jackson. I don't know. He just do.
Said Hinton was very...
Look at his face. Man. I bet you it's just a blur for him probably still. Probably a little out of his mind right now.
Very emotional.
Is he okay? Tell me that dude don't favor Samuel L. Jackson. Am I tripping? Let me see. Yep, he should have been unless he was put on desk duty. You never know these days.
Family didn't even want him to.
But that's why I'm glad the lady just said it clearly, though.
to drive home. He didn't, but he came back later to get his car, and then he headed to the area of the UC campus where Deputy Larry Henderson was directing traffic for the UC graduation.
I just don't know why it escalated. They was waving, and I don't know.
The detective said Hinton picked out the first officer he saw and accelerated toward him.
Through the intersection, directly at where Deputy Henderson was standing, struck Deputy Henderson and the metal utility pole on the northeast corner of the intersection.
Okay. Were there any evidence of skid marks?
No, there were no indications at any point that he tried to brake, stop, or otherwise avoid Deputy Henderson.
I think the conduct in question is classic mental illness criminal conduct. It's always intentional, it's bold, it's conspicuous.
Right, it's like a crime of passion. Is what I'm thinking.
I know that that's a hallmark sign that somebody is not in their right frame of mind. No attempt to deceive, no attempt to hide what they did.
Yeah, so that was Clyde Bennett. That is Hinton's attorney. He made no secret that he's going to use mental health as part of his defense in this case. And in the end, he didn't even argue with the idea of not having bond for Hinton. In fact, the only thing he requested was that he gets mental health while he's in the Claremont County Jail. Reporting live, Brian Hamrick, WLWT News 5.
And typically these no bond hearings do require a higher burden of proof. Brian, was there any evidence presented?
Yeah, it's they call it clear and convincing evidence is what they need. It's like a step down from it's just part of the legal process there. They did not bring in evidence. What they did do is they talked about this video that they had. There are two videos. There's one from a bus that shows the entire encounter, and then there's another one from a security camera that shows part of that encounter. So that will be held for trial.
All right, Brian Hamrick reporting.
Wow, man. That is so sad. I don't understand why this is not being investigated by someone other than their own. Yeah, they always investigate themselves, seemingly. Good afternoon. What's your perspective on this tragic time? Welcome in, Raphael. Thank you for being here. I'm still gathering my thoughts. I mean, the father just lost it. And it is kind of like a crime of passion when something happens devastating and you just lose it. Just even in court, he don't seem like he's there to me. So, and then I'm questioning if he actually had a weapon because I didn't see it in his hand. And so that is my perspective right now. You know, and why did they edit this footage like this? I mean, why did they edit the pictures? Let me show that. That's what I'm looking at. So I didn't see a weapon in his hand. I seen something on the ground. That's a quick time, you know, and like I said, maybe they not disputing that he had the weapon, but was he pointing it? Either way, he is gone. But this footage, I'm trying to understand, why did they edit body cam footage? Put different colors and everything. More filter. Why? Let's look at this.
Coming on the air here with breaking news, the man accused.
What happened to my... Oh, why is it
Of
doing that?
intentionally hitting and killing retired Hamilton County Deputy Larry Henderson is about to appear in court. I'm Stephen Albritton.
And I'm Megan Mitchell. 38-year-old Rodney Hinton Jr. faces charges of aggravated murder. Prosecutors say this was an act of retaliation after Hinton Jr.'s son was shot and killed by a Cincinnati police officer.
This morning's hearing will determine if Hinton Jr. can be held without bond. The judge has just sat down in the seats. Let's listen in live as the hearing is set to begin momentarily.
And Rule 12 of the Rules of Superintendents of the Supreme Court. And so I requested every member of a licensed broadcasting staff to fill out a form for filming and recording of these proceedings. And the only provisions that I would order the press that no witness or victim who objects to being recorded, you can't record those persons, but I think you know that, right? So that would be the order, and thank you for filling those out.
Please smack the thumbs up, y'all.
Because of the nature of this case and the high public profile, this is what we're doing. Under the rules of give orders of me granting to the court.
Why is it
I will
doing
ask
that?
her to mark them as the court's exhibit 1 and to maintain them for the record going forward. Is everyone ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Is there a case that's going to be called?
Your Honor, Rodney Hinton.
Thank you. Mr. Bennett, at the prior hearing before today.
Got to have a seat. Got to have a seat.
Have a seat, sir.
Oh, that's what happened. Oh, that's what happened. He's not gonna.
And to maintain them for the record going forward. Is everyone ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Is there a case that's going to be called?
Your Honor, Rodney Hinton.
Thank you. Mr. Bennett, at the prior hearing before today.
Got to have a seat. Got to have a seat.
I really do believe dude is not all the way there. His brother knocking on the window.
Have a seat, sir. Sit down.
That's my brother.
Look how quick the whole room stood up. Wow. A lot of emotions, man. This family just lost 2 people.
Get him
for real.
out. Let it go.
Mr. Beck,
High
was
emotions.
that the defendant's blood brother?
Not to my knowledge, Your Honor. No.
All right.
No.
Okay.
Oh, that
All
wasn't.
right. Thank you.
He said nothing.
All right, let's resume order. Can we have the defendant's
Yes.
name, please? Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Yes.
Now this could end up being a race war. Yep, I was thinking that too, along with the other one, Carmelo Anthony, and this one. I thought that. Not to mention what already happened. Wasn't that Cincinnati when they went and put them flags over the overpass?
Okay, so we're going to come back to the desk here. We're going to keep watching what's happening. The commotion, it sounded like the man who stood up there, it sounded like he said he was the brother of Rodney Hinton Jr. As you saw on the video there, police, deputies, CPD, Hamilton County, and even onlookers, everybody stood up as that man was escorted out of there. We are having some audio issues with the courtroom, but we're going to do our best to listen.
Yeah, and if you've been to that arraignment room A in Hamilton County Justice Center, you know that this is definitely many more people that are typically in that room.
I believe that it's a possibility that he could be temporarily insane based off of how he's looking now. He don't look well to me. He look like he's in shock. He don't even look like he there to me. So maybe he is insane. I don't know. I mean, it's still developing. I don't know. What do you think, Raphael? What do you think?
So you see perhaps protesters, family members. We also saw Rodney Hinton Jr. then get escorted back out. So we are waiting to see when this will resume. But
why they had to escort him out? Because they had to escort the other guy out. I mean, it's a whole door and plexiglass and steel doors right there. Why they have to take him back out? That's weird.
Of course. We now have audio back, so let's get back into that courtroom as this hearing proceeds.
Good morning, Mr. Hinton. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. We're here this morning on the issue of, I believe, yes, at the prior hearing, there was a waiver of probable cause, Mr. Bennett.
Judge, I'm going to waive probable cause as we go to be acquainted with the case. I'm waiving probable cause.
Thank you so much. And
welcome in, Guadalupe.
Is there a plea this morning?
It's a plea of not guilty.
Plea of not guilty. Yes. Will you enter a plea of not guilty? And thank you. And as to bond, the state has requested a hearing on the issue of bond or bail. You may be aware of that.
I am aware of that.
Who would like to proceed?
I'm proceeding, Your Honor.
Thank you. And would you please speak loud enough so that everyone can hear you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Louder.
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead. Is it okay if he begins?
Judge, he has a verdict.
Okay. Thank you. Clear and convincing evidence.
Yes.
Thank you.
Your Honor, we will call our first witness, Officer Beebe. Where would you like Officer Beebe to stand, Your Honor?
If it's okay, he can stand right there. It's okay with him.
Thank you.
Good morning, officer.
Good morning, Judge.
So we're going to swear him in.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Officer Beebe, I need you to state your name and spell your last name for the record.
Carl Beebe, B-E-E-B-E.
And Officer, where are you currently employed?
I'm employed as a police officer, the City of Cincinnati Police Department.
Okay, what is your current assignment?
Currently assigned as a detective in the homicide unit.
Okay, in that capacity, were you called upon to investigate a matter that involves the defendant Rodney Hinton?
I was.
Okay, is Mr. Hinton in the courtroom with us today?
He is.
Should please. Thank you.
Thank you. And identification is one of the elements in this process. And Mr. Nelson, would you advise the court of what statute, if any, that you are operating under this morning?
Yes, Your Honor. It's 2937.222. It's hearings on bail and grounds for denying such.
Peace and blessings. How you doing?
How did you become involved in the investigation involving the defendant?
We were notified of a crash that occurred at 200 West Martin Luther King Drive, where a deputy was struck by a vehicle and at the time had serious injuries.
Okay. And is that location in Hamilton County, state of Ohio, City of Cincinnati?
It is.
Okay. And so where did you begin your investigation? At what point?
Myself and several other detectives, officers, and investigators from a traffic unit went.
What are we doing here? What is going on? Get it together.
801 Lynn Street,
Okay.
Which is where the Cincinnati Police Department's criminal investigation section is located.
Okay. Is that abbreviated CIS?
It is.
Okay. And are you aware of his reason for being at CIS?
Yes.
Okay. And why was he at CIS?
He was at CIS to meet with CPD officials to review body-worn camera footage related to an incident that had occurred the day prior. His son had been shot by a Cincinnati police officer.
Okay. And so was he there to, I guess, to meet with the chief of police?
Yes.
Okay. And so on that date at that time, did he view a video which depicted his son being shot and dying as a result of contact with the Cincinnati police officer?
Yes.
Okay. And then after he viewed that video, and if you know, approximately what time did he view that video?
Shortly after 9:30 that morning.
Okay. And after that, do you know where he went or what he did?
Yes. So he left that the parking lot, I believe, shortly after about 10:30. Based on witness statements, he went to a couple of different locations, and then later returned. I believe about 12:40, he returned to our lot.
Okay. Were you able to speak to the people or some of the people or family members that he was with when he was at CIS?
I was.
Did they describe his emotional state at that time?
Yes. They said that he was upset, was agitated, and they were concerned enough about his emotional state that they did not want him driving, which is why the first time that he was there, when he left, he actually left with family members and not driving the car that he had driven to that location.
Okay. And do you recall it? What sort of car was he driving after he returned to pick up his car from CIS?
It was a black Ford Focus.
Okay. Approximately what time did he return to CIS to pick up his vehicle?
I believe it was approximately about 12:40 p.m.
Okay. Were you able to trace his progress from CIS to the point where he came into contact with Deputy Henderson?
We were.
Okay. And can you describe where he left, where he drove from CIS to the location where Deputy Henderson was struck?
Well, he after he came back to pick up the car, he actually left the parking lot, followed by some family members and another car. And then a few minutes later, returned to the parking lot at CIS, drove through the parking lot, and then left the parking lot again. That was at approximately, I believe, around 12:49 that he left the lot the last time.
Okay.
And then from there, proceeded up to the Clifton neighborhood, where he was traveling northbound on Clifton Avenue, and then turned to travel eastbound on West Martin Luther King Drive.
Okay. So that's a right-hand turn from Clifton Avenue proceeding northbound on the MLK. Is that correct?
From northbound on Clifton Avenue to eastbound on Martin Luther King.
Okay. And where was Deputy Henderson working on this day?
He was working from the intersection of Clifton Avenue and Martin Luther King Drive. He was working one intersection to the east, where there's a traffic light there.
Okay.
200 West Martin Luther King Drive.
And what was he doing at that traffic light? What were his duties?
He was engaged in traffic control duties. There is a traffic signal box that's mounted on a metal pole at the corner of the intersection. In that box is a cord with a button on the end of the cord. That button can be used to cycle the light. There were graduations at the University of Cincinnati that day, and so there was a large volume of traffic in the area. And so he was controlling traffic and assisting pedestrians crossing the roadway.
And was he in a sheriff's deputy uniform at that time?
He was. He was wearing a sheriff's deputy uniform, wear a hat, and a fluorescent vest, traffic vest.
Okay. And his employment history involves being a deputy with the Hamilton County Sheriff's Department. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And so he was performing duties as a police officer directing traffic on that day. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Were you able to retrieve any video from any stationary cameras or mobile cameras?
We were.
Okay.
Let me see what y'all saying right quick. What do y'all think about his state? Do y'all think he's all the way there? I guess I'll do a poll. Welcome in, T Beezy. Shout out to you. Wait a minute, why is it not? This thing be driving me crazy. Hold on. Okay, so I see why Dad mad. Honestly, that he would never receive justice for his son. The cop would have covered the whole thing up and make his son look like the criminal, like the cops have already started doing. Yeah, I figured that when they said that the father seen that footage, I figured that he was like, he probably didn't see the weapon in his hand. I'm not sure what his state of mind was or what he might have been thinking, but I did think that he knew that his son wasn't gonna get no justice. I mean, that's pretty much, he just lost it. He just lost all reasoning. I mean, shoot, he might be schizophrenic. It seemed like when people have some devastating things in their life, that happens. It's a cover-up. The kid had no gun. His dad wouldn't have done that deputy in if they had not fired on his son back. He was shot 8 times. Did they say 8 times? I thought they said twice when they was talking, but I was trying to figure out how would they know that already. Usually, you got to have a autopsy. When exactly did this happen? I'm gonna have to look at my dates because the father already seen the footage and all of this. Let's see. The boy was running away. Exactly. The saddest part is hearing that he had called his uncle, and I heard that from T Beezy because I haven't got to that yet. Or I heard it from somewhere that they were saying that he called his uncle 6 to 9 times and he didn't answer because they was asleep. So they was sleeping in that vehicle. I just wonder, what is the story? I mean, the other people that was in the vehicle with him, they know what happened too. Momentarily insane. Yep. I forgot what they call it. Is that what they call it? Just trying to hear all those kids running the boy because could have just let him run, but they saying that he had a weapon, and I was wondering if he did. I'm like, because I heard something about it was weapons in the car. So why wouldn't he have just left it in the car? Let me put this.
And please describe the cameras that you were able to get footage from.
We had one camera that was a fixed camera. That camera captured them turning from Clifton Avenue onto West Martin Luther King Drive. It was pointed in that direction at the time that incident actually occurred. It was redirected to the scene after the deputy was struck. Mm-hmm. We also had the opportunity to view camera from a vehicle that was in traffic on West Martin Luther King Drive, approaching the intersection where the deputy was struck, and it did capture the incident.
Okay. And were you also able to speak to people who were in cars that were within 1 car length away from the defendant?
Yes.
Okay. So your information is obtained from a static video camera, actually it's a moving video camera that was moved to the position after the accident, a video camera that was actually in a bus that was actually on MLK that depicts the incident, and testimony from multiple witnesses who were there. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. When you pick up the defendant turning eastbound onto MLK, please describe his path of travel.
So initially he was in one of the lanes on the right side. The The traffic was slow moving, stop and go traffic. At some point, they, based on witness testimony, they moved into the left straight lane. And then a short time later, pulled into the sort of the painted median. It's not a raised median, but a painted median between the two. Eventually, that turns into a left turn lane to go into Burnett Woods.
All right. So at that next intersection where Officer Henderson is standing and running traffic, you can take a left to go into Burnett Woods and a right to get to UC where the graduation was happening. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And describe the defendant's path of travel after he pulls into the left turn lane, the one that is used to turn into Burnett Woods.
So based on witness statements, he pulled into that sort of that center lane, the median, turns into the turn lane, pulled into there and stopped. There were no other cars in front of him at that point, no obstructions.
Let me ask you a question. When he stopped, was he at the intersection or did he stop short of the intersection?
No, he was well short of the intersection at that point.
Okay. And was traffic moving eastbound while he was sitting there?
No, traffic was stopped.
Okay. But was there room ahead of him for him to pull up to the intersection should he have wanted to turn left?
Correct. There were no vehicles in front of him.
Okay. At that intersection, are there plastic, I guess, for lack of a better word, sticks that are actually in the ground in the pavement to ensure that people travel in the proper lane of travel?
There are further up closer to the intersection, yes.
But he was not up to that point at that time. Would that be correct?
Correct. Not at the point that he stopped.
Okay. Tell me what he did after he stopped.
So based on witness statements as well as the video, the vehicle accelerated quickly, proceeded eastbound, crossed into the oncoming lanes of traffic when there was no longer traffic to obstruct his travel, crossed into the oncoming lanes of traffic, went to the left of those little stanchions that are in the middle of the roadway, into the oncoming lanes, through the intersection, directly at where Deputy Henderson was standing, struck Deputy Henderson and the metal utility pole on the northeast corner of the intersection.
Okay. Were there any evidence of skid marks?
No, there were no indications at any point that he tried to brake, stop, or otherwise avoid Deputy Henderson.
And is that the conclusion our accident reconstructionists have come to at this point?
At this time, yes.
Okay. And does it appear from your review of the video that he headed straight for Deputy Henderson?
Yes.
Okay. And did any of the multiple witnesses that you spoke to and the people that were in the vehicles that were surrounding him, the people that were on scene, did anyone indicate that any attempt to slow down or deviate his path straight to Deputy Henderson?
No, everybody said that he accelerated and was traveling at a high rate of speed all the way up until the time that he struck Deputy Henderson.
Okay. And when he struck Deputy Henderson, was the deputy injured?
Yes.
Okay. And what happened after he struck Deputy Henderson?
Deputy Henderson was launched several feet through the air. He came to rest in a turn lane several feet from where the collision occurred.
Okay. And what happened in the immediate aftermath after he struck Deputy Henderson? Where was the defendant? Who was on scene? What happened?
The defendant was located inside the Ford Focus. There were some other officers that arrived almost immediately, as well as.
What is going on? Right, I didn't see nothing, TBZ. I didn't see nothing in his hand. I don't believe none of the lies. A big mistake was made.
Okay, as we try to get audio back in the courtroom, there some
life-saving measures.
oh, we got the audio back. Let's go back inside court.
Okay, it's them, not me.
Was pronounced deceased a couple hours later.
And in addition to the people that you spoke to that were on the scene and the vehicles that were surrounded, did homicide speak to other witnesses as well?
Yes.
Okay. And from your investigation and from speaking to those witnesses, what is your conclusion as to what happened on that day?
We believe, based on our investigation, the witnesses that we spoke to up to this point, that Hinton left our office and was traveling and came upon Deputy Hinton and made an intentional decision to drive directly at Deputy Hinton and strike him and kill him.
Okay. And based upon that investigation, did you decide to charge the defendant with aggravated murder?
We did, yes.
Okay. I don't have any further questions, Judge.
Mr. Bennett, you may cross-examine the witness if you like.
Just first of all, I would like to offer on behalf of the Hinton family and myself, prayers to the Hinton family, prayers to the family of Larry Henderson, the fallen deputy, and I thank the court for having a fair assembly in the courtroom today. With that, I'd like to ask you a few questions, not a lot. Okay. You said that Mr. Hinton left the police station around 12:30. CIS.
He initially left around 10:30.
Came back and then left again.
And then returned a couple hours later, yes.
And you said that individuals that know were saying that he appeared to be agitated, upset, and so forth, correct?
What is going on?
Okay. And you don't know the source of that that agitation or that distraughtness, do you? If you know, you might not. I don't think you do, but you have to answer the question.
The source of the agitation?
Yes.
Well, I would assume it was because of I believe it was because of the video and the reason that he was at CIS.
Do you know the mental history of Mr. Hinton?
No, I do not know detailed mental history.
Right. Do you know whether or not he's had any medically documented infirmities or conditions? Do you know that? You don't, do you?
No, I do not.
And then you also don't know his state of mind at the time of the incident near Vernon Woods and Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. You don't know that either, do you?
Based on the facts and circumstances surrounding it, I think we.
You think he
the evidence? And the evidence, yes.
Yeah. Are you familiar with acts of someone that is not in their right mind when they commit a criminal act? If you know.
Can you clarify your question?
Are you familiar with the characteristics of acts of...
I'll object to that one.
I'll object to that? Okay. You don't know whether or not he was in his right mind at the time that he encountered Deputy Henderson on Martin Luther King Drive in Vernon Woods. You don't know that, do you?
Object again, Your Honor.
I mean, he is making valid points. This is different.
Okay, so once again, still having some audio issues in the courtroom, but Clyde Bennett on cross-examination. Let's go back inside.
At the time he committed this offense, it's stated in the statute. It's 2937.22. I believe the C3, the character.
Y'all, please get the thumbs up. I'm only seeing 19 thumbs up. So can you double tap the screen and or hit the three dots to thumbs up? Thank y'all for the votes. So we have so far, is he insane? Yes at 42%, no at 36%. Okay, so yes at 42%, no at 33%, and maybe at 25%. So this guy already know. I guess he's a doctor. He know already everything.
Physical and mental condition of the defendant or the accused. That's at issue.
I believe that the witness indicated that his opinion was that the act was intentional.
Right. And in making that opinion about whether or not it's intentional, you need to know the mindset or the mens rea of the person that you're claiming intended to do this. Was he in his right mind? That's relevant with respect to your bond determination.
I'll sustain the objection.
From the state, Your Honor, also just for clarification,
It's not the time of the event, it's the time of the history of the accused. So the actual intent at the time of this offense has no bearing upon this court decision.
I'm not saying that my client didn't try to intend to do this. That's not my position. One more question. You don't know his mindset at the time of the shooting. Yes or no?
Like I stated previously, with the facts and circumstances surrounding it and him driving up until that point and all the circumstances that surround him leaving our office and from talking to witnesses, he was emotionally distraught and they were concerned about him driving and they were concerned about his safety.
No further questions, Judge.
Mr. Bennett, thank you for your questioning. Does the state have any further witnesses?
No further witnesses. No further questions.
Please.
No.
Mr. Bennett, under the statute, the defendant has a right to speak if he wishes at this hearing.
We're not going to exercise that right, Judge. I'm going to speak on behalf of Mr. Hinton.
Thank you, but you do recognize that under the statute that the court must allow the defendant to make a statement at this hearing if he wishes.
That is my understanding, and that's a right I don't wish to exercise on behalf of my client. I don't want him to speak.
Is that right, Mr. Hinton? All right, thank you so much. State have any further witnesses?
No further witnesses, Your Honor.
All right, shall we move to argument?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so the position of the state is that, what's the state's position as to bond?
Judge, as to bond, in closing, what I would say is that pursuant to 2937-222, we have shown proof that it is evident that the defendant committed the crime. We have an investigation that includes information from multiple witnesses who are within one car length away or less from the defendant, and 2 videos depicting his path of travel, one of which shows the collision. This evidence and testimony suggests that people were worried about him when he left the police department, having just viewed a video of the death of his son. And he was observed by witnesses and video cameras as he operated his vehicle and drove towards where the police officer was. The evidence suggests that he proceeded eastbound on MLK until Deputy Henderson came into his view. The evidence then shows that he deviated from his eastbound course, pulled into the leftmost turn lane and waited. And before he
Dang, they audio all jacked up on an important day, ain't
Okay, so yeah, we're having a little trouble back and forth. Obviously, being there in room A, lots of walls, lots of
demonstrates prior calculation, design, and premeditation.
I was just about to say, could it be all those steel doors and glass between them? Golly.
Death of Deputy Henderson, who was a law enforcement officer engaged in the course of his duties. Because of the extremely random nature of this attack, it renders an unpredictability to the defendant that cannot be accounted for with a bond when he was released, because we have no way of preventing him from removing an EMU device, no matter what kind of bond you give him, and gaining access to another vehicle and doing this again. Defendant in his current state is a giant mental health question mark and is a clear and present danger and poses a substantial risk of physical harm to law enforcement officers and to the public, as evidenced by his conduct on the 2nd of May. There are no other alternative means or conditions of release that will adequately protect the public. The weight of the evidence, the nature and circumstances of the offense charged as being an offense of violence, the defendant's mental condition, and the nature and seriousness of his danger to police officers and others in the community strongly suggest that denying bond is both in the interest of the community and in the interest of the defendant. Additionally, Section 2937-222 provides a mechanism in which the Court of Common Pleas can review and modify your order should new evidence come to light if there is a change in circumstances, as that can affect bond. But at this point, Your Honor, we believe that we've read our burden pursuant to 2937-222 and ask that you deny the defendant bail.
What do you have from the state with respect to the personal history or criminal background of the defendant this morning?
Your Honor, the defendant...
And this is required as a review under the statute, Mr. Bennett.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
So, Your Honor, in 2017, there was a domestic violence charge where the defendant pled guilty of disorderly conduct. In 2020, actually, 2019, there was an assault conviction out of Hamilton County. And then I believe there was an assault conviction out of Middletown from 2023 and an aggravated menacing conviction out of Middletown from that same court. So that's his prior history.
Thank you. And what about any known community contacts that are that you're aware of?
I'm not sure what you mean by that, Your Honor.
His family background, do you know anything about that?
I don't know anything about that, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Let me turn, have you finished your argument?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let me turn to Mr. Bennett. Mr. Bennett, anything as to bond or bail under the Constitution?
Judge, I'm going to address the factors that are set forth in the statute for no bond and also Criminal Rule 46. Before I do that, in summary, what I would like to do, I want to make certain that this young man is treated as a mentally ill person and not as a cop killer. I don't think he was a cop killer. I think he was not in his right mind. And I think he should be treated like any other mentally ill person that commits a crime under the auspices, control, and authority of a mental defect in the condition. That's what we have in this case.
Do you plan to file a request for a competency evaluation after this hearing?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
This court is not empowered to do that today.
That's why I was going to ask for it.
If the matter is referred to the grand jury for consideration and further indictment, you may have the opportunity to make the request at that time.
I wasn't making the request at this time.
He clearly ain't in his right mind, if you ask me. Now they cameras paused.
And I was simply
again
educating the public on the process and letting the public understand what this process is and whether certain things can and cannot occur.
So the court would not hear a competency referral today.
That's my understanding.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Mr. Hinton's 39 years.
Oh my God, dude. What are we doing here? Yeah, wait. It ain't me, it's them. Can't even get through this. Let me pause
Okay,
this.
we're still trying to get back in the
right. Yeah, they still trying to get. Let's swerve over here a little bit. He snapped, definitely. And okay, she said petty crimes. I didn't quite hear everything they were saying. I heard something about assault, I think. But it says here that the family hired this attorney. I thought I heard somebody say he had a public pretender or something. But the family of Ryan Hinton has hired an attorney to look into his death during an officer-involved shooting. Okay, and they said they met with Cincinnati Police Chief Teresa before the body cam was released to the media. They were upset by what they saw. Now, I wonder if Teresa is the lady that was presented to everybody else, because she was already accusing the kid of everything. I wonder if that was her. I have to look. But the attorney Michael Wright says everyone only saw one angle. What we saw in the video is hard to determine whether or not that officer was in imminent danger or should have thought that they were in imminent danger before they took the shots, Wright said. So they have requested other officers' body cams and a police report. They don't believe the shooting was cut and dry. I don't either because of what we've seen. So they're not believing that it was cut and dry. Being in a stolen car, having a firearms, we're in Ohio, you know. So you can open carry in Ohio. So that's not a death penalty, said Wright. In an appearance on Lincoln Ware's radio show on Monday, the chief says they know the sequence of events in which Ryan had a firearm. We do know that he exited the vehicle with the gun in his hand, the officer said. How they know that? We do know that one pointed We do know that one point he stumbled. We do know that at one point he stumbled. What? We do know at one point he stumbled. Had that same gun still in his hand. It hit the ground. He got up. Still had the same gun in his hand. And then he ran between the dumpsters. That's where the officer said he saw the gun in his hand. Now, they said he was pointing the gun. Now he saw the gun. Oh, wait. They said he was pointing it at the officer. But that ain't what I just read. The grandfather of Rodney Hinton Sr. said he saw 2 scared people in that body cam. And okay, so I do remember that. He dropped the PPU when he fell. That is what they said. But that is true though. Like, do you have to be 18 or 21? But one thing for sure, man, I don't know. I didn't see it. They said he pointed it. So if they're gonna say that he pointed the weapon, you would think that when he was standing right here by the dumpster, that we would have seen all that, and we didn't. So just like he said, and like we thought, it's not cut and dry. And then these weapons look totally damn different. I mean, is it because of the filter? Is it because of the editing? I mean, first of all, there should have been no editing, so that shouldn't even be a option. Why these guns look different? One look doo-doo brown and one look albino. You know, tan versus brown. It don't look the same. It don't look the same to me. But it should look the same. Because the footage should have never been edited. You don't change the color just by editing footage. Look at this. Edited. Why? Why? I mean, why change it up like that? So they show us 2 different color weapons and we supposed to just take their word. Yep, it's the same one. I know you see 2 different colors, but it is the one that he had, that he dropped. I don't know, hell, they could have got one out the car and dropped it. They said it was weapons in the car. Why did everybody else leave theirs and he took his? That don't make sense. And they was asleep, so did they catch them sleep when they put up? Would he just happen to have a weapon in his hand? I don't know. Like, see, we ain't to just believe every and anything that we told. And when you have this janky, shady footage that don't show what they saying they want us to see, that's a problem. Because this right here is where it should have been at, in his hand. And I don't see nothing. I just see that he running. And I seen that his back was to the cop. But they saying that when he was down here on the ground, he was pointing a weapon. Or did they say where he was allegedly pointing a weapon? I don't know. All I do know is that I don't see one in his hand pointing. That was the thing.
Courtroom, it's been going in and out, doing our best. A lot has come out over the last few minutes, but right now,
he lives in Middletown.
we have him back. Let's go back inside the
He
courtroom.
lives in Hamilton County.
All right. Okay. All right. I thought
He has lived in Middletown in the past, but he lives in Hamilton County now.
For how long? Can you share that?
Several years.
All right. Go ahead.
Strong family ties. His family retained me. He lives with his significant other and his children. He does have limited contacts with crimes of violence. I think there was several low-level misdemeanors. Other than that, he doesn't have a felonious criminal record and doesn't have a significant history of failure to appear. I think there's one failure to appear. I conducted my investigation and I couldn't find out where that one failure to appear came from. But what I agree with the state is that there is a giant mental health issue. And I would ask that whatever bond, whether it's a no bond or a monetary bond, I would.
Man, if they don't get out of here with this janky footage, what are we doing here? Golly. He snapped, she's racist, the chief is critical.
Treated mentally. He's receiving no treatment at Claremont County.
When he fell.
mentally or physically.
And it
I got
is
a problem with
different.
that.
Okay,
And I would ask the court to
straight.
take that into consideration with respect to the judgment here or decision on bond.
But we
That's all I
supposed to
have at this
believe
point.
whatever the hell
Thank
they
you.
say.
The state have anything final to say?
Judge, the only thing I would say is that I don't really have an objection to him getting mental health treatment in jail. That's fine. I mean, mental health treatment is good. But as far as what we need to show is, number one, the proof is evident or the presumption is great that he committed the offense with which he is charged. We know that because we have video and witnesses who saw it. Number two, he poses a substantial risk of serious physical harm to persons or the public. And
Why don't you repeat that first paragraph again that you just read?
The proof is evident or the presumption is great that the accused committed the offense to which he is charged.
Hold it. I will make a finding under revised code section 3927.222 by clear and convincing evidence that the crime was committed as you described, based on the information presented this morning. Next.
Next would be that he poses a substantial risk of serious physical harm to any person or to the community.
Mr. Bennett, you want to address that?
I think in light of his mindset at the time that this happened, I was physically present with the defendant over the weekend. I think he has mental issues. I think it's a long way of answering your question. I think the conduct in question is classic mental illness, criminal conduct. It's always intentional, it's bold, it's conspicuous.
I don't know that.
That's a hallmark sign that somebody is not in their right frame of mind, no attempt to deceive, no attempt to hide what they did, because they think that what they're doing is right, and they think that what they're doing is right because they're not in their right frame of mind. They don't understand the lawfulness of their conduct. So yes, I'm agreeing with Mr.
I cannot recall either in experience or outside experience, a case that I've ever seen like this. And based upon the state's comments, I find it very difficult to figure out how there could be any decision based on what they said that would protect the public and the defendant under these circumstances. This is a most unusual case.
I don't disagree with you, Judge, with respect to the no bond.
Thank you so much. I believe that Mr. Bennett said that he agreed with the court with the issue relating.
I talked to the officers before. They have assured me.
I look like she's sitting on his dang lap. What is going on here? These cameras.
To be kept in a safe safe way, and that he will be watched over in a way that would not relate to any self-harm, based upon what everybody has said today.
Judge, I don't want to. I don't want the court to misconstrue, or the public for that matter, my comments about his stay in Claremont County. Claremont County is doing a great job. I met with him this weekend. He was in a flak jacket. They're making certain that he doesn't harm himself or anyone else. I just want to make sure, add that component of mental treatment.
You understand that as an impartial jurist deciding these issues between the defendant and his rights and the state and its presentation, that the court's required to make these inquiries.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Based upon the officer of testimony of Officer Beatty,
yes, Judge.
And all the facts and circumstances surrounding his testimony this morning, the comments of the state, that there will be an order of remand with no bond. Please assure the safety of the defendant and any mental health treatment that can be granted. No bond, and we'll give, if the officers want to stay, and the public, you're welcome to stay through the other hearings. Otherwise, if you are concerned about this issue, you may leave, and then we'll take just a 5-minute break.
When you're ready.
All right, let me finish this order.
May 12th.
512 for your report.
Okay, thanks.
He is clearly out of his mind. Yeah, he don't look well. I said that yesterday. And so I see that I want to read what the grandfather had to say about his grandson. So yeah, he's not getting bond. Let's see this right quick. So the grandfather, we gonna go on to that footage, but I just want to read what he said. Hold on, let me cover this right quick. Those non-matching guns we looking at here. So he said, the grandfather, Rodney Hinton Sr. So that's the dad's dad. He said he saw two people in the body cam video. What I've seen was two persons made a mistake. My grandson made a mistake of being there. The officer, he was trying to get back to his family too, said the grandfather. Rodney said he was praying for the officer. I have to bring the peace to this. There's no violence in this, no revenge, said Hinton Sr. Howard couldn't hold back tears as he spoke about his cousin Ryan. He had no business being in a stolen car. He had a bed to come to, said Howard. He couldn't get in the house, all right. He couldn't get in the house, all right? He called me like 6 or 9 times, like 12, like between 12 and 1. Calling, trying to get in, texting me, and I was asleep. Ryan, I'm so sorry. So this is what T-Beezy was talking about. So Ryan's family also offered condolences to the family of the retired deputy Larry Henderson. Henderson was run over Friday, allegedly, by Ryan's father. I will hope that tensions in this city will relax, that everyone would just wait and not judge and not rush to judgment on either side. And hopefully we can get through. We can get through this, said Wright. And the family did not want to discuss any alleged actions of the case. Okay, so let me go to that. See what they saying. Let me see what y'all saying. Welcome in, Sherry. Blessings to you. He was locked out and slept in the car. Golly, how did it end up like this? They said it was a stolen vehicle. What the heck? And they said they had weapons in the car. So what was going on? Welcome in, Gab. She said, good to see you. Yeah, good to see you. She said, aw, I'd make this go viral. Yes, mods in chat. Yeah, I was tripping out when I found that out. So let's see what the family got to say. I have not seen this, and this was my first time seeing the bond footage. So let's see. Let's go here.
Now Ryan's family is calling for calm, going public for the very first time since his death. WCPO 9 News reporter Sean DeLay.
Wait a minute now, if it's doing that.
He has been covering this since Thursday and spoke to the family. Sean?
Yeah, Craig, today's meeting with the Hinton family was very emotional. They want peace, but they and their attorneys also want to make sure the Cincinnati police officer that shot Ryan followed all protocol.
Flanked by their attorneys, the Hinton family remembered 18-year-old Ryan Hinton, a son.
Long live Ryan.
A brother.
He was real loving.
A grandson.
We are very close family. This is killing us.
A cousin.
He was scared. He tripped and fell. He must have been so scared. He's got a gun. He's got a gun on your right. On your right.
A Cincinnati police officer shot and killed Ryan Thursday. Police say that he ran from a stolen car with a gun, tripped and fell, then ran toward an officer who shot him. Attorney Michael Wright reviewed the body cam footage with the family.
What we saw was disturbing.
He says it's not clear-cut whether the officer's actions were justified, and they've launched an investigation into the shooting.
So that we can really analyze what occurred. I mean, what we saw in the video, it's hard to determine whether or not that officer was an imminent.
Now let's just go to the footage.
Thank you for coming out. My name is Michael Wright, Attorney Michael Wright. I'm going to introduce Attorney Fanon Rucker, Attorney Robert Gresham, Attorney Anthony Pearson. I'm going to introduce Mom, who is Tori Jackson, Grandma, which is Tanya Larkin, and Dad, which is Rodney Hinton, Jr. Grandfather, excuse me. We're here because we represent the estate of Ryan. We're not here to talk about the incident that occurred with the police officer. We do offer our condolences to the officer and his family, but we were hired to represent this family to investigate the police-involved shooting of their son, Ryan. This family is very upset about what occurred. Kind of walking you through what happened is on Friday morning, we met with the police chief of Cincinnati, and we viewed the body cam video of what happened with the police-involved shooting with Ryan. We stayed at the chief's office for about an hour and a half, and what we saw was disturbing. The family was upset, as you can imagine, watching your son, watching your grandson, watching your loved one getting shot and killed by the police was upsetting to this family. We left out of the police chief's office, and a few hours later, I was made aware that Rodney had an incident with a police officer that resulted in the officer's death. But again, we are here because we represent the estate and the police-involved shooting. We're trying to get the family some answers as it relates to what happened with that shooting. We're not here at this point to make any specific allegations, to make any specific determinations as it relates to that police-involved shooting. We are here
acting like they should,
and we're retained to investigate that shooting. So we'll take any questions.
How will that proceed? What will that look like? What will you be reviewing the body camera footage frame by frame, or talking about the process?
Absolutely. We only saw one angle. We only saw, I believe it was the shooter's body cam. So we requested the records, we requested all the other body cams, we requested the reports, we did the ordinary public records request so that we can really analyze what occurred. I mean, what we saw in the video.
Y'all, please get the thumbs up. We only got 32 with 75 people watching. If you in the clouds, drop down and smack that thumbs up. It don't bite. I promise you that. And it won't charge you either. So please smack the thumbs up, y'all.
Video, it's hard to determine whether or not that officer was in imminent danger or should have thought that they were in imminent danger before they took shots. So we are specifically investigating, that part of this entire tragic situation.
Just right to the person who says Ryan was in a stolen car, had a firearm, according to the detectives, and this is what happened. What do you say to that person?
That's correct. But being in a stolen car, having a firearms, we're in Ohio, so you can open carry in Ohio. So that's not a death penalty. Being in a stolen car, having a gun, that doesn't mean that you should be shot and killed.
Trigger warning.
Disputing any of the comments we've heard from the chief, any of the facts that she laid out in that press conference?
Well, I'm not familiar specifically of what facts you are indicating. However, we believe that this incident should be investigated. It's not as cut and dry as this officer should have just pulled out his gun and shot at Ryan. It's not that cut and dry. So that's why we're doing the records request. We're going to analyze frame by frame each one of these videos to determine why the officer made that deadly decision to shoot and kill Ryan.
The only thing we've heard so far about Ryan has been from police, but a member of the family wants to step forward and tell us a little bit about him.
Yeah, of course. This is his mother, this is his grandmother, his brother, his father, his grandfather. Tell them your name.
I'm Diamante Jackson. I'm Ryan's big brother. My brother, he was always like real jokester, playing with everybody, but he was making sure everybody was good. Everybody was on their toes too. Like, he was real loving. Like, you felt his love through anything he ever did for you by just hanging with you, playing the game, playing football. We used to play football outside all the time. Like, it was just us, man.
How did you get the news?
So crazy.
Don't forget.
It's cool. It's cool.
Okay, and this is grandfather.
Hold on. Rodney, I'm Rodney Hinton Sr. I want to give a condolence out to the officers that got killed. My whole family. I'm asking for forgiveness, and I've been praying hard for the officer that killed my grandson. I've been praying hard for him and his family because I know he's hurting off this. As I seen in the video about my grandson, I seen two scared people. I seen the officer scared, and I seen my grandson scared. So it's an unfortunate incident that happened. So that's all I seen. It was like, I didn't see the police there trying to kill. No, what I seen was two persons made a mistake. My grandson made a mistake being there, and the officer, he was trying to get back to his family too. So that's what I seen. So it's not about revenge or anything. I have nothing against nobody. You know, my Lord and Savior is Jesus Christ, and I represent him. So with that said, please, everybody, just try to forgive everybody who done anything to anybody.
Just written for you, this is a fact-finding mission more than anything to make sure you understand.
Yeah, it's a peace thing for me, for everything, for everybody to heal off this. I want everybody to heal off this. You know, it's like a mistake. I really feel bad for the officer who was shooting because I can see the scariness in him too. People can't see it because I'm going spiritual with this now. So
I am curious how he was able to see it. Maybe he's seen a different body cam footage that showed the fear of the cop, because I didn't see that.
I was able to see that God had allowed me to see this part of the accident. You know, just like my son made an accident too. So he made an accident. Just, you know what I'm saying, just trying to just move on now. That's all I'm trying to do on. And I'm praying for the officer and their family. You know?
How hard is
Son.
for your entire family from Thursday into Friday with all of this plan? It's a lot.
It's been hard on my side of the family. I know it's been hard on Tori, because me and Tori, you know, me and her is so tight. We usually be born on the same day. So God, it's crucial how me and her have to end up to explain this now. We born on the same day, but different years. You know what I'm saying? So all this was building up to.
Granddaddy probably should let somebody else talk. I don't know, man. Like, what? Let me just let this play.
To this point, but I was trying to I have to bring the peace to this. There's no violence in this, no revenge.
You're aware there's social media chatter that people in the community might feel a different way?
I don't. We
haven't been on it at all.
I'm being no social media. I don't do no Facebook, nothing. I just rely on the power of God. That's it.
It seems like there's some tensions though, based on some of those posts. Do you have like a calming message for those who are concerned over the issue?
Long live Ryan. Long live
Ryan. I want to say out to the media and the social media. My name is Tanya Larkin. I am Ryan's grandmother. Ryan was a sweet, gentle giant that played with everybody all the time. You see all the younger ones? That was a PlayStation buddy. He made it a point to make sure that he played with each and every last one of them whenever he was around them. He included them in the game process. He taught each one of them how to play the game. We are very close family. This is killing us. I can't even express how I feel right now about, I'm angry because it shouldn't have never happened. I want to find out exactly what steps was taken and the protocol. And if everything comes out that it's not what it should have been, we need to do something about change in training and diversity and understanding us as a Black culture. We as Black people, we don't deserve to be killed just because we're running away from the police. We're scared just as much as they are, whether we did something right or wrong. This is everyday life for us, being scared of the police. Take that in consideration while everybody is making comments on the parent should have did this and the parent should have did that.
Okay, come on. Because I ain't worried about it.
What's your name? My name is Marlon. I'm Ryan's cousin. My condolences to everybody involved in this. I just want to say, Ryan, I'm so sorry. God, please watch over the rest of my family. I want to address all the negativity and saying he was something being a stolen car, this and that. Listen, he was supposed to be at home that night and shit. Let me get this out. He had no business being in a stolen car, man. He had a bed to come home to. He slept in a car. He couldn't get in the house. All right. He called me like 6-9 times, like 12, like between 12 and 1. Called me trying to get in. Text me. And I was asleep. Ryan, I'm so sorry. This was never supposed to happen to you. Ever. I'm so sorry, Ryan. I'm so sorry, Ryan. Just know he wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't. He was scared. He tripped and fell. He must have been so scared. I'm so sorry, Ryan. Just that, like, everybody just talking shit about him. Just know he wasn't supposed to be there, y'all. I'm sorry.
Ask you real quick.
Yes.
Do the investigation as it unfolds. Is there a possibility of litigation, or just help people understand what could be done?
Well, again, we're investigating. When we get all the information that we've requested, then we'll make a determination as to next steps. We have to analyze all of the information we receive, all the body cams, all the different angles, and then we'll make a determination as to what next steps are. Whether that's filing lawsuit, whether that's litigation, I don't know at this point, but it's an ongoing investigation, and we will, once we get all the information, we'll then make a determination.
Pain that your family is feeling is clear right now, but in that statement, you made a point to notice and acknowledge the pain that the family of the fallen deputy is feeling as well. What was in your heart when you did that? Why did you find the need to acknowledge your pain as well?
Well, reason why, because when you so naturally, for me, when this happened, I'm devastated because my grandson was with me the whole winter. So, you know, when goes back with he go back with his mama through the summer, and he got killed. So it was very devastating to us. Kind of a lot of anger, feelings at first. But for me, I have to go to spiritual. I have to go spiritual to myself to understand what's really going on. If I can see through the fake media and all that stuff. So the media have not done nothing towards me to make me feel about anything what I'm saying. Mine's all natural coming from God. You know, so I just, you know, it's hurting on both sides. Everybody's hurting off this. You know, the family, the officer, I was crying about what happened to the innocent officer. You know, so that's all it's all about. It's all about healing each other. You know, everybody make mistakes. Like
Everybody don't need to speak in a family. They really don't. I feel for the grandfather losing a son and a grandson. Man, wow, yeah. I wonder if the grandfather is okay.
I can say, it was an emotional mistake by everybody. That's it.
Do you know who your son was talking to during his arraignment on Saturday morning when he said he'll be
I have no
trial?
more questions. I want to answer my
Yeah.
questions.
No, I do not. And we're not going to discuss anything related to the criminal case. We're not here to represent Rodney in the criminal matter. So that's something you have to talk to his criminal lawyer about.
Just to clarify, it was his cousin who spoke and said Ryan might have been locked out that Wednesday night before that Thursday. Just to clarify, is that what he was saying?
That's what he said.
Do you know if the officer involved has been placed on administrative leave or anything like that?
It's my understanding that during officer-involved shootings, the officer is placed on administrative leave. I don't know. I believe it's 7 days, but I'm not 100% sure.
Just right, I know you've been around for a minute, and just the circumstances here are just incredibly unique and truly just hard to process. Having gone from Thursday and then the tragic incident on Friday, from your vantage point, I know you're staying in your lane. You're representing the estate of Ryan Hinton. What do you make of this and this city and this time? And there's a lot happening here. A lot of people feel different ways about it.
Yeah, I mean, this was a tragedy all the way around. Ryan was shot and killed. This police officer lost his life. His family is suffering. This family is suffering. There's a lot of healing that has to happen here soon. We are still investigating the shooting, as I indicated, but as Rodney Jr. said, everyone's hurting. Excuse me, Rodney Sr. said where everyone's hurting, and there's there has been nothing at this point that's been good about this entire situation. They lost their grandson, their son, their brother, and the officer, his family lost a father, a grandfather, and just the police department in general lost a colleague. So, we don't stand here saying that, this was nothing but a very tragic situation all the way around.
Mr. Wright, with everything going on Thursday and Friday, I know the chief was out there talking about possible tensions arising. How do you keep the temperature down in a situation like this?
Well, just by what we're doing now, we want everyone to just forgive one another. We want everyone to kind of just wait and let this process, play itself out. Let's see what the investigation for the shooting of Ryan turns out. Let's wait and see what the investigation as it relates to Rodney, and, just pray for the family of the officer, pray for this family. So I would hope that the tensions in this city would relax, that everyone would just wait and not rush to judgment on either side. And hopefully, we can get through this, this very tragic situation.
Mr. Wright, too, one other question. When we all leave here today, what is one thing you or the family want us to take away from Ryan Hinton himself?
You heard the message, that he was loved. What we know is that we have a natural tendency in society to line up along the sides that we believe, even if at some point our positions may not be supported. What we have to do in this community, as an example, is recognize that life is life. Most of us have experienced some loss in our lives. Most of us know what it feels like not to have the phone call from that person that we were able to talk to the day before. And if
So for people coming in, yes, it was a cop that unalived the 18-year-old. He had just turned 18, and they claimed he had a weapon in his hand that we don't see. And then his father turned around and unalived another deputy by running him down in traffic while he was directing traffic. It was a random cop. It wasn't the same cop. Oh, thank you for still listening in, Sherry. I appreciate that. And welcome to everybody coming in. Y'all, please smack the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.
all of us recognize that pain, if all of us recognize that sentiment, then all of us can understand the commonality of the injury and the pain that we collectively have to sympathize with the other side, even if we don't particularly agree with what we believe that person did before they lost their lives. Even if that's our position, we have to understand that somewhere within us has to be understanding and mercy. And that's a community offer and direction. What we're talking about, what we're doing as the Cochran firm, is about process. We're all here because of an incident. And certainly some people say, well, you know, he was doing bad stuff. Even assuming the truth of that, there's procedures and there are policies that require those who hold life and death in their hands to move in particular ways. Our objection is the question of whether or not those policies and procedures were followed, which led to the unfortunate and tragic death of an 18-year-old. We can argue all day about all of the society problems that lead people to places where they shouldn't be. But that's not our question, nor are we trying to answer that by this process. We are answering or looking for the answer through our investigation of whether or not it was proper, whether or not the policies were followed appropriately, and whether or not by law and by facts that tragic death was considered in the eyes of the law as justifiable. I can promise you, under no circumstance are the family members who were here will ever believe that it was justifiable. Trust me on that. But I can offer to you that we collectively need to, as Senior said, find a way to love and forgive one another and look at our commonality to stop all this vitriol, this anger, this taking sides, this dart throwing, this hatred. Because there is no good that will come from it on either side.
Judge Rucker, this may be a technical question for you or a family member. It was Friday afternoon around 1:30, or sorry, Friday afternoon. During Thursday's incident, what was Ryan 18? Was he in school? Was he out of school? What was his?
He was going to Don, and
Was
Don
going to
just closed.
And they closed, so he had not be enrolled at CPS, for example, or whatnot. And that's unfortunate. Yeah. So I'm sorry that was the case. So, Mom, would you care to say a few words? Ryan's mom, just shed some light where you are. No, that's fine.
Thank you.
Oh, they should have let her say
That's
something.
it. We're gonna end this press conference. Thank you
Aw,
all
they
for
should have
coming
let her
out
say something.
She wanted to say something.
and pray for all these.
Yeah, let her
just pray
say
for all these families. That
Zoe, you want to say something? That's his sister.
That's his only sister.
Yeah, they should let her say something.
Hi, I am Ryan's sister, only sister. And me, I did.
No, you did.
Oh, hi, I'm Zuri, and I am 10 years old, and I'm Ryan's only sister. And me and Ryan is 8 years apart. And Ryan was Ryan was the funniest person I ever met. And even though we used to fight a lot, so I'm done.
Okay.
Oh, and LL Ryan.
Right. So,
Poor baby.
all right. Thanks everyone for coming out.
Sad. Sad, sad, sad. Man, let me cut this. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. You know, when you see the family, you see the siblings, and then you get to see pictures of them. Like, we still don't know the story. I mean, I know what they saying. And one thing that I'm looking at, welcome in, Flower. Nightgown. Hey, Chocolate 313, how you doing? So one thing that I have never seen is GoFundMe come out with a statement of apology. Like, I ain't never seen this before. So I do know that when people are unalived or some people die and folks start GoFundMes when they notice that it's a lot of traction on the case, and it's not necessarily the family that raised this or that started this GoFundMe. But I did notice that there was a GoFundMe, but it wasn't nobody. I think it was like $15 donated to it. But GoFundMe came out and said they apologized to Cincinnati FOP for allowing posting to raise money in support of the man accused of intentionally unaliving a Hamilton County deputy. Okay, and then they went on to say, my name is Emily. I am reaching out from GoFundMe regarding Rodney Hinton Jr. and attempted misuse of the GoFundMe platform. I am deeply saddened at the death penalty or at the death of Deputy Henderson. And on behalf of the entire GoFund team, we wanted to express our deepest condolences to the Ohio law enforcement community for your loss. I was notified earlier today that our team removed a number of campaigns. See, and that's what I'm saying. All of those GoFundMes was probably all fraud. Every last one of them. And these people are they just wait for times like this so they can start GoFundMes in somebody else's name, usually somebody deceased. I was notified earlier today that our team removed a number of campaigns that violated our company terms of service related to raising funds for individuals charged with violent crimes. GoFundMe's terms of service prohibit fundraisers for the legal defense of violent crimes. Consistent with this long-standing policy, any fundraisers for the legal defense of someone charged with a violent crime are removed from the platform, and any money donated to the campaign is refunded to the person who sent the donation. I can assure you that there will be zero tolerance for this type of behavior on our platform. If you have any questions about the legitimacy of a fundraiser on our platform, or if you come across a campaign that you believe should be removed, please send it to me directly. Yeah, they should go after the people that created them, because it probably wasn't this family that did it. Maybe they should start looking into that, because it's a whole lot of fraud coming up out of GoFundMe, and they support certain ones that they choose to. I was done with the family after the father spoke yesterday. This is why I stopped supporting families of victims. We all remember what happened. Man, listen. I told them, get grandpa off the damn mic. Like, everybody don't need to speak because he sound crazy. You don't even know what's going on yet. You don't even have all the proof you need. And you skinning and grinning, which, anyway, I'm going to just quit now. But please, Paw, stay off the mic. I think it happened Friday. I think that is what I seen, that it happened Friday. I don't know the date, though. But that is surprising if it happened on Friday. Like, well, I'm literally just really learning about it. Yeah, the grandfather strike me as if he may need a straight jacket. You know what I'm saying? He kind of had a smirk on his face when he was talking. It was just weird. They lost their case just based on what he said. Man, what? I was waiting on him to like he said he cried about the officer. Like let me just say this. I don't condone none of this and I don't stand for none of this at all. I think it was wrong. It was a random cop, not even the same one, but I do believe that they need to stop gunning down people in the back. Like, well, you can't do that. I mean, if the dude was running, he was running. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not let him just run? Now, the question is, did he have the weapon in his hand and pointing? We yet to see that. Everything that could have showed that is either blurry or not visible. Like, we only see one camera angle, which I don't know why. You know, he that's exactly what I was thinking. Chocolate. Yeah, white chocolate. Yeah, Oreos. That's what I was thinking. That whole Oreo eye look. Because they'll get you for even saying that here. But yeah, get off the damn mic, sir. And yeah, I did say that about the straight jacket. Because it's something about his stare and the expressions he got on his face when he was talking. He just didn't seem well. Just like his son. His son didn't seem well. And I wonder if this is the first time he has something going on. I know that some tragic things can happen and you just can snap. I've heard of it happening before. You just lose your mind. Temporary insanity. The news said the officer heard the pow hit the ground when he fell. Yeah, I heard him say that. But I'm like, why don't we see it in his hand though? Surely the cop that seen it was a couple cops. It was a cop behind him, so surely his body cam should capture if it was in his hand or not. And I see that somebody made a little picture saying that it was in his hand, but I still didn't see it. I'm still stuck on why did they edit the footage? I'm not understanding why this footage needed to be edited to the point of it's different colors, highlights and filters and different resolutions and things going on here. Why? That wasn't necessary. That wasn't necessary. The trees is not that dang on green. Okay? The dumpsters ain't black. It was unnecessary to edit this footage like that. Like, I've never seen body cam footage like this. Where's the damn time at on there? Or did I take it off? I don't know. No, I did. Maybe I did. But explain why this weapon is a total different color. Oh, that's right, because they edited the footage and it changed the color. Or it's it ain't the same weapon. Like, so this is why I'm saying what I'm saying. If it was clear that he had the weapon in his hand and he was pointing at the cop, I don't understand why he didn't just leave it in the car. They said they found other weapons in the car. You know, I don't know why he would have ran out the car, even had the weapon in his hand. They said they was asleep in the car. I'm confused. There's a whole lot of missing pieces here. But Paul should have stayed quiet. He should have. This almost happened to my family. It's called temporary insanity, okay? If my father's brother had have been there, that could have been my dad. Really? Wow. Yep, man. It can happen. It can happen. Crime of passion. You walk in on your significant other doing something, you know. But I don't know if they'll consider the hours that was in between it, because I heard them say something like it was 9:30 or 10:30 when he left, 12:30 or something when he came back. That's just me thinking I heard what I heard, right? And so he had time to think about it. But if he already lost his mind, a white woman unalive my brother. Oh, for real? I'm so sorry to hear that. Dang. In the 70s. Wow. Y'all know older people be rambling. Who you talking about? You are supposed to talk on YouTube. I don't know if you talking about me. Do you be rambling already? Because one thing I don't do is ramble. And another thing, I ain't old, so I don't know who you talking about. Sir, ma'am. Ma'am, sir. Did you even say hi? Oh, the grandpa. I thought you was talking about me. Shoot. Look. I thought you was so cute. Look, I'm not playing no video. I ain't talking. I'm just looking at the chat. I thought you was talking about me. Okay, yeah. Granddaddy done lost his damn mind. I mean, they need to get Granddaddy a straight jacket. He was talking crazy. Thank you. I'm sorry for even thinking it already. I apologize. I'm so used to trolls. You never know. I appreciate it. But yeah, get that man off the mic. I thought he was about to run down and hug somebody. Like, yeah, somebody did say like Amber Geiger. Remember the brother? He was on the stand. Can I hug her? Can I hug her? And ran down there, hugged her tight like that was his brother. And then the judge come down out with her flip-flops on, hugging her too with a Bible or something, right? Didn't she give her a Bible or something crazy? Like, just enough already. Let the evidence come out. He talking about we just need to move on. What? Like, I'm confident Pawpaw is not well. Pawpaw might have a crime of passion. Might have a go at a crime of passion. My apologies. Hello, host. Yes, hi already. Look, I think I was about to say that. Did already even say hi before you insult? I don't know, but you wasn't insulting, right? I appreciate it. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. I didn't even think about that. That's what I was supposed to have been doing. Thank you, Chocolate. Let me. So the call-in line is open if anybody want to call in and give your opinion about what you just heard. Let me make sure my ringers is on. Oh, TB's even sent me some messages. Dang. I thought I sent the family press conference. Nope. Let's see. Oh, okay.
Thank you for coming out. My name is
I got that. We seen this too. Oh wait, did we not see this part? I think I had this in my queue, but I didn't play it. Let's pull this up. I don't think I pulled this one. Oh, as a matter of fact, my queue is still here. Let's see. Let's see if it's, I think this is different than what we seen inside. Oh, I ain't even got it up here. Hey, caller, what's your name and where you calling from? Oh, hey, how are you? What's your name?
This is Chocolate 313.
Okay, I just wanted everybody else to hear you. I heard you though. But thank you for calling in. How you doing?
How you doing? I'm doing okay. How you doing this evening?
Not too bad.
Look, I just woke up after eating a real good Southern meal this morning.
Listen now, I'm hungry.
I mean, I'm talking about getting down in the dirt Southern meal. Okay, it knocked me out. I had the itis.
I was just about to say that.
But I just woke up and was scrolling through YouTube and saw your podcast, and this triggered me. My brother was unalive in 1970. He was only 12 years old at the time.
Oh my God.
He got hit by 2 vehicles. And my younger brother, my older brother, was with him. My brother got mental health issues to this day. And when my brother got unalived, it literally tore our family apart. You got to remember, I told you last time I called in, I'm an older adult. I was 9 years old when this happened. It traumatized me when I say it tore our family apart. But what I saw yesterday reminded me of my mother. God bless her soul and God bless my daddy's soul. My daddy already wasn't feeling YT people. Already because of the civil rights movement. You got to remember all that stuff was going on during that time. And when that happened, he was hit by 2 cars.
2?
This woman was drunk. Girl, when I tell you my brother, like it's still, one of my matter of fact, one of my favorite cousins, you sound so much like her. That's another reason I like you so much. She just drove into town. I mean, you sound exactly like her. I like you automatically, even though I never told you that before. But my favorite cousin just drove into town, woke me up last night around 12 o'clock midnight, and we were talking about my brother. That's how traumatizing it was. My brother, the first lady that hit him, she drug him 1.5 miles, and she had to know it was a kid because he was on a bike. He was on my bike, actually.
Wow.
My brother, my older brother, ran. This happened not far from my house. My older brother ran to a trailer park, and there was nothing but YT people there, begging somebody just to call the police, to try to help my brother. He had to leave him there. When he came back, another lady hit him. That lady was compassionate enough. She got off the car. She came to the funeral. My father wanted to kill her. But back then, they used, I'm sorry, excuse me for saying that. But back then, they would publish your name, address, everything in the paper. I swear to God, it was so much drama in TGV that if my uncles, my father had 7 brothers, if they hadn't been here, my daddy would have been sitting in prison.
Because
he wanted that first lady, he wanted both of them, but he definitely wanted her. And I'll never forget the second lady. She was a young YT girl. I remember that. I remember it clearly. Like I said, I was only 9 years old when that happened. And she came. She was remorseful, and she got in a car accident some years later. My mother had the newspaper clipping in her wallet. But when I tell you my mama went full coon, and that's no disrespect towards her, but my daddy wasn't trying to hear that. And he was a die-hard racist till the day he died. He never forgave that, and he never got over it. He never got over that.
Did you say he got mental after that, or?
No, I said my brother, because my brother was with him. He saw him.
Oh, your brother.
You gotta remember, things were different back then. I know you're younger than me, but you know how people can get unalive with guns and different things or whatever nowadays, and they can fix you up and you can't even really tell.
Right.
My brother got dragged for a mile and a half, so imagine how he looked.
They had
Like,
an
I
open
could see it
casket?
in my mind, like, huh?
It was open casket?
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause
Oh.
I'm telling you, my parents were so devastated. When that happened, you didn't hear of kids, things like that happening back then. You know, whether they was black, white, whatever. You
Yeah.
just didn't hear of it. It was so many people at that funeral. Like, I can remember it just like yesterday. And I got traumatized from seeing my brother like that. And yeah, they should have had the casket
Goodness.
closed, because I don't know if that was clay or something that they had packed in my brother's face. It was just horrible.
Oh, wow.
He was a little kid just like me, and that was my favorite brother. And me and my cousin, we were talking about that last night. Like, that's when the family just kind of, everybody went their separate ways. You know what I'm saying? My mother became overly religious. You know what I'm saying? But my daddy stood on business till the day he died. And I mean, if anybody white said anything to him sideways, any kind of little snub, and I mean, you know, even back then, y'all don't understand, you could still get KILL'd. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's still happening
People
today.
trying to hear it. I mean, my daddy stood on business.
Wow, I am so sorry that happened to you and your family.
Like, you know, me and my cousin was talking about that just last night, because we just lost somebody else in the family. It wasn't nothing tragic, though, just from old age.
Sherry said her condolences to you, and also Tracy in the chat said condolences to you.
Oh, thank y'all so much. You know what I'm saying? But I'm getting emotional now just thinking about it. When
Yeah, that's
something
tragic.
tragic like that happens, and I mean, even though that was I know this case is different, but I understand. I told you before, the last time I called in, I lost my child from cancer. You know what I'm saying? And it's just something that hits you in a different way. And I tell people all the time, you know, I would never wish death on anybody's child, because it hits you in a way like you learn to live with it, but you never get over it, if that makes sense.
It makes perfectly good sense. Yeah, you just learn to
You know
deal
what I'm
with it.
saying? I told you the health issues and stuff that I have with my heart. I was an absolutely 100% healthy person, and my daughter died, and that comment, you know, that saying about pressure.
You lost a son and a daughter?
I literally.
Did you say you lost a son and a daughter?
No, I said I lost my daughter.
Oh, to cancer. Okay.
Yeah, back in 2006, and
So
I
sorry
just
for
haven't
your
ever
loss.
been the same. I started, because I was holding all that in, trying to stay strong. You know what I'm saying? I cried every single day. I still cry right now, today, but I just kept holding it in. I kept looking. When they be telling you, running all those numbers on TV, you know, for cancer support groups and stuff, girl, back then in 2006, I couldn't find nobody to talk to. So all I did was cry. Thank God for my best friend, bless her soul. She died a few years back. But if it hadn't been for her, I wouldn't be here right now. It just hits you in a different way. So I understand that father. Even though the circumstances are different, I know I could just imagine how he felt losing your child like that, because I saw what happened with my parents. My parents' marriage, it's, you know, they stayed together, but they were never the same after that. Because my mama sound like that old man yesterday.
Really?
You know, on that forgiveness stuff and whatever. My daddy wasn't trying to hear that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
And my daddy grew up in the swamps of Louisiana, okay? I'm talking about like back in the backwoods. And just to give you a little background, and I know that sounds kind of crazy, but just to give you a little background, my father, the town that he grew up in, it's probably only about 10,000 people there. Every uncle that he had on his mother's side was M-U-D-E-R-E-D. Because they were standing on business. You couldn't do that back in Louisiana. They lynched every last one of them.
What? Wow.
My father, baby, I could tell you, if I actually knew you in real life, I could tell you some stuff about my family on my daddy's side, and me and my siblings basically were shaped by the way that my father's side of the family thought. My mom just was one of those people. She was just, you could run her over with a car and she gonna forgive you and give you some money and try to do something for you. Where my daddy was mean as a rattlesnake, and I understand what made him that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of his oldest brother was lynched. If my dad was alive right now, my father would be 95 this year.
Wow. Okay.
It's just, just things in his life that happened, things that he saw. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody, back when they were growing up, everybody was not scared. You know what I'm saying? It might have been foolish, but sometimes, people have to make a stand. But yeah, none of his uncles on his mom's side, not one of them survived. Because they was getting lynched, for talking back, for shooting back.
It's ridiculous that we even had to deal with that ever, and it's back, and it's horrible. But that's ridiculous. But that kind of stuff really upsets me.
Yeah, my daddy and his brothers, I give them that. They stood on business, and my daddy always taught me to never, always look them in the eye when you're talking to them. Don't let them talk to you any kind of way. If they don't respect you, you don't buy anything from them. Do you know how many stores I have never shopped at again, never ate at a restaurant again because of my dad, whereas my mama would push the issue. Like, my mama would put us in, I felt like when I look back at it now, she was putting us in dangerous situations. Because you got to remember this when, and I'm talking about when we were little, me and my siblings, like taking us to them restaurants where they was doing them sit-ins and stuff. My mama was into all of that.
Where they was doing sit-ins at?
She would stand up, but in an opposite way from him. Like, she would, say for instance, we go in a restaurant and, you can clearly see this someplace you're not supposed to be. My mama made it a point like, oh, you gonna serve me. She was one of them.
That's crazy, because they can serve you and spit in your food and all that.
Exactly. But she was a Christian at the same time. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, they was always bumping heads. But I know this for a fact because I saw it. Me and my siblings saw it. When that happened to him, my daddy, oh my God, I will never forget that. I will never, ever forget that as long as I live. And I probably ain't got too much longer to live. But
why you say that?
Standing on business. I mean, his brothers, old girl, they was tearing up the house because they're hurting so bad. And I never saw him cry. I have never
He
seen
was
my
too
dad
mad to
cry.
cry, probably. Oh, he cried when your mom died?
When my mama died, I never saw my father shed one tear, but the rage, it was like there. Like, you could just feel it. Like, me and my cousin when we were talking last night, it was like all the air just left out of the house. Like, our house, we had the most kids, so this was like the hangout house. All the cousins, all the aunts, uncles on both sides, everybody, did everything together. We had barbecues. We used to do the drive-alongs where, all the kids fill up in all the different cars and stuff, and we all ride out to the park and do picnics and stuff. When my brother got, all that just stopped. It just took all the air out of the...
Wow.
It just turned different, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm sure my parents needed probably, some type of counseling, but they didn't have that kind of stuff back then. All you did was depended on your friends and your family. I remember my mom used to have to go get shots because her nerves got bad, as they call it after that.
Wow.
But my daddy just became just mean. That's just the best way I could put it. Like, he didn't like those people all the way to his death.
See, now they got all kind of names for that stuff. Like, because when something tragic like that happened, it's like PTH, what is it? PTSD.
PTSD. I told my sister that. I said, just this past week, I told her, I said, girl, I said, you know, I was just telling her stuff Daddy used to do because I took care of him. You know what I'm saying? And I told her, I said, I think he had PTSD. Not only had he been in the war, but then, you know, that happening to our brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you just couldn't approach him. You know how, like, your parents, you know, you can run up to them and say anything or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And they love you and they smile and they hug you. After my brother died, I swear to God, it's so many days that I have always wished that that never happened. It's like all the love just left out of our house. Our parents loved us. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You couldn't just approach them anymore. I couldn't just go run and sit on my dad's lap anymore, if I'm making sense.
Yep, it was PTA. He was devastated.
They traumatized behind that shit.
And schizophrenia happens too. I mean, it seems like, I mean, because I know somebody that recently been diagnosed with that, and I never knew that they had anything like that. Schizophrenia.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, I have somebody that I know that let me catch this call. I'm so sorry. Let me catch this call. Somebody's calling in. Thank you so much for calling. All right.
Oh, you're welcome. Bye-bye.
Hey, caller. Oh, shoot. Call back, caller. Call back. But Chocolate 313, my condolences to you. Man, you lost a lot of people. And I wanted to ask you what was your brother's name? So her brother was only 12 years old. And what was your daughter's name? That's really devastating. But one thing that she said is that she probably won't live that much longer. Don't say that, Chocolate. You can outlive a lot of people. Wait a minute.
To accept, press 1.
Wait a minute now. I don't know who this person is. Caller? Hey, caller, what's your name and where you calling from? Okay, I see you playing. Because we already heard your name and you said it again. I guess that was already. You're already getting on my nerves. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I ain't too fond of games. Or trolls. But if you ain't a troll, call back. But nah, you said that name twice. For what? Exactly. Mute your background when you call in. Don't call with me playing in the background. I had my finger on the mute button. I already was ready. I'll mute somebody in a minute. Like, hold on. Oh, okay. Let's see.
Hello. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press...
Yeah, I'm not playing with y'all. Okay, so when you call in and that thing asks you to say your name because I need to hear a name. You know what I'm saying? I ain't playing with y'all today. I'm gonna get up out of here. I actually meant to leave before the 2 hours. So let me see what else I missed. BFF, can you check Already's page to see who we dealing with over there? Already. We should have knew. PTSD is real. Yes, it is. And I don't know what Already got, but PTSD is definitely real. Anytime something tragic happen or devastating, you could experience that. They got a diagnosis for everything. If you cry too long, too much, oh, you got PTSD. I was wondering about that. Well, already you called and you said your name was Guap or something and you had me playing in the background. I'm not sure. I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. I gotta go do something. So I will see y'all in the next live stream. Possibly tomorrow. We did 3 live streams, a class, a collaboration. Yeah, we did a lot of stuff today. We had a meeting, not a class. We had a class yesterday. But anyway, let me get out of here because now I'm rambling. Now I guess I'm the old lady that rambles. I think already was talking mess. But anyway, y'all, we up out of here. Please subscribe and press that notification bell and thumbs up. Please subscribe and press that notification bell. Are you a true crime sleuth looking to binge watch great content? Come on into my channel where I have a variety of videos, shorts, live streams, podcasts, playlists, members only videos, and also we have posts. Posts is a place where I share upcoming live streams, videos, calls to action, polls, quizzes, pictures, and ongoing conversations. Stand out and become a member with badges and special members emojis. Thank you for your like and subscription. Are you a true crime sleuth?
I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. I don't.
Going on? It's definitely too late to call in when I'm ending the show. But peace and love, y'all. We out. It's all time. Make this go viral. We gon' blow the spot. MTGB. We'll get a voicemail. Make this go viral. Make this go viral. Make this go higher. Peace and love, y'all. We out.